Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the big day. It is wipe day. The servers just went down. It is 1 in the morning. The patch notes are live. Let's go ahead and break down the patch notes. I have not read these yet. I'm doing this unedited, one take. Let's jump into it. Patch 15. Factory rework. All textures and geometry of the plant building, interior rooms, cellars, structure. Okay, they're redoing factory. Rooms, basements, workshops have been refined while maintaining the workshop. Okay, so not reserve. Sorry, I just made a reserve video. Factory is going to have a similar layout, but they're redoing a lot of the details. That's basically what this means. New crosswalks at dead-end locations, improved upper area of workshop. I wonder what this is going to do for the kill PMCs in the office task. I imagine it'll be easier. Based off of the trailer, it looked like the office area got a little bit bigger. Improved AI behavior. I wonder if Tagilla is still going to get stuck on everything. New tasks. I love to see it. Factory never had very many tasks. I like playing Factory, but there's just never been a reason to go to Factory. New boss, Partisan. Alright guys, you know my opinion on this guy already. I made a video about him. Let's see what he has to say here. Not much is known about his background. People say he is a combat veteran and has been obsessed with tripwires and booby trapping since those days. He is on good terms with Jaeger. Their goals and moral compasses seem to be aligned, or perhaps it's their military past that binds them together. Partisan holds firm to his principles in Tarkov, going after people he believes to be honorless and hunting them down, whether they be PMCs or scavs. He has no ties to other local bosses and tries not to cross paths with them. His view on traitors is similarly negative, with the exception of Jaeger. Your standing with Fence has no effect on Partisan's attitude towards you, and it cannot be increased or decreased by helping or killing him. So we can kill Partisan. There's no bad thing with killing Partisan. I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna hunt down Partisan. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna smoke him. I'm gonna take his shit. So we'll see how that goes. The boss appears in forest-type locations. Okay, so where are their forests? Customs, shoreline, woods. Maybe lighthouse? Along the beach, there's kind of a forest. Maybe interchange, there's some forest, not very. He is more likely to appear in a raid with low karma PMCs. In this case, Partisan will hunt those players down. If there are scavs with low karma in the raid, they will also become his targets. However, any player has to be ready for the traps and expect a firefight when encountering the boss, regardless of their karma. So he's just gonna kill everybody. He's gonna hunt down the low karma PMCs, but he's gonna fight everybody. This will be very interesting. This is going to be our first boss other than the goons that travels around, and the first boss that actually hunts down players by traveling the map. It'll be very interesting to see this. Partisan prefers a stealthy approach, taking advantage of the terrain, setting traps in advance, and only then engaging in open combat. The process of preparing and exploring a location takes up most of his time, while open confrontations are less frequent. When fighting against multiple opponents, he can lure one of the players to his booby traps, which he has set up beforehand. The boss acts alone. He installs tripwires, actively uses grenades, can quietly move through the terrain, and track his target for a long time across the whole location. What I'm thinking, imagine this. You're doing Eagle Down, I believe it's called, the Peacekeeper task where you're looking for the UAVs. You spawn over by Terminal on the road to custom side. Maybe he's standing up on the weather tower, he sees you. Is he going to trail behind you all the way around the map as you cross past Resort and then go over to the other drone, and then eventually will he shoot you when you get to Scav Rock? Like, at what point does he shoot you? When you start getting towards the extract, will he shoot you? How is this going to work if he's tracking you across the location? What if you just extract? all things to consider. We're gonna have to find this out as we go. A new hidden parameter, Karma. The Karma value changes depending on the player's actions. Generally, it can be increased by adhering to a more open playstyle and decreased for a dishonest playstyle. The number of triggers that change the value of Karma will always be increasing, and the triggers themselves will be adjusted and balanced farther. In some cases, Karma changes can be tracked by a distinctive sound notification. So are you gonna get like a notification sound, like a ding ding after you shoot a hatchet runner? That's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how this is going to work. Maybe that bird he has will start chirping. Maybe you'll hear a bird chirping whenever you do something that you're not supposed to. They said we were gonna know what lowers your Karma, but here they're just telling us, oh, you're gonna hear a sound. I'm concerned, to say the least, but we'll go with it. Map-to-map travel. New game event, Marathon. Oh, God, I didn't expect to see this already. During the Marathon event, local transits will only be available in the corresponding game mode. Marathon is only available in the PvP mode. Players will receive a unique achievement for completing the Marathon event. After the event is over, all location transits will become available in all raids. Huh? Is that talking about like the boat extract on Shoreline and the car? Are like the car extracts and the boat's gonna take you to other maps? Added the ability to travel from one location to another. To move to another location, the player must enter the transit zone and select the appropriate option in the context menu. Local transits are available after 7 minutes from the start of the raid. During the transit, the player will be able to transfer some of the items found in raid, which will be moved to a stash for a certain price. After transferring the items, the transit timer will begin. When activating the transit and transferring items, the ability to exit the current location will become unavailable, and the player will be forced to use the transit. Oh, so this is like if you go to Path to Lighthouse, you'll just go to Lighthouse. And then maybe if you're at a car extract, you can send some of the loot back to your hideout. This is going to be very interesting. I wonder if this means labs is going to be locked off now. I wouldn't be surprised if we boot up the game this afternoon and we don't see labs anymore, and you have to go to labs through the new factory expansion. When attempting to transit in a group, players can use the transit only if all living members of the group are in the transit zone. Oh, that's interesting. So if you squad up and say 2 of your friends are in dorms and 2 of your friends are in dungeon, everybody has to come together to transfer to a new map. You can't just have 2 people go to a new game while your other 2 members of your squad are still in customs, for example. That's very interesting. I think that's really funny. I don't know about you, but I know people that would totally just run away to a different map for shits and giggles, so I like that. If several players who are not in the same group use a transit at the same time, they will be transferred to the next location together. Solo players can join a group and also transit to the next location together. That's interesting. I've never really teamed up with anybody over VoIP. Maybe player scavs a few years ago when they first added Karma, when people wanted to see what Fence gave you, but I don't see that getting much use, but it's nice they're adding that. The available transit directions are marked with a dotted line on the location selection screen. Huh. Added the marathon achievement for visiting all location in one raid. Oh, that's really funny. So what's it called? The guide, that task line? You can get an achievement for doing that if you don't go back to your hideout. That's really funny. Tripwires. Added the tripwire installation feature. We saw this in the trailer. A single-use consumable item, the tripwire installation kit, is required to install the tripwire. Oh, so you need to bring in a bunch of gear to do this. I like that. The item cannot be found in raid or bought on the flea market. The kit will be available for purchase after completing Jaeger's task line. Okay. When the item is in the inventory, the player gets access to the tripwire mode by pressing the B key on appropriate grenades. The grenade must be in the hands to select the tripwire mode. The tripwire has a minimum and maximum installation length. It can be placed on any flat or slightly inclined surface. Tripwires can be activated in a number of ways. by shooting the wire, from hitting the wire with explosion shrapnel, to hitting the wire with any physical object, including players, bots, or items. So you could throw your backpack and trigger the landmine, is what I'm hearing. That's interesting. You could throw your backpack, you could throw a gun, you could throw grenades, you can shoot it. Interesting. During activation, the tripwire does not explode instantly, but a fuse delay. Okay. So what if it's an impact grenade? Does it go off immediately, or how does that work? Can you use an impact grenade? The meta is going to be using VOG 25s. They have the shortest fuse. Tripwires are going to be scary, but I imagine if you're quick, you may be able to avoid them. I'm not sure. Is it going to be like the grenade just goes off? I guess it will. Maybe you can't get away from all of them, but maybe an M67 or an RGD you could get away from. Tripwires can be disarmed. To do so, approach the booby trap grenade and disarm it through the context menu. Oh, so you could just go up and hit F. Okay. Disarming takes a certain amount of time. Having a multi-tool. Oh, okay. So multi-tools are considered the same type of object as markers and the compass and the rangefinder. So you can put it in your special slots next to your pockets. So you could just carry a multi-tool every raid. That's very good. That's very good. I like that. After disarming, you can pick up the grenade. Awesome. Tripwires disarm on their own after a certain amount of time. Huh. So maybe it only lasts for like 10 minutes or something along those lines. Bipods and weapon mounting. Damn, we're not even halfway through. Bipods and weapon mounting. Added the ability to mount weapons and use bipods. To mount a weapon, the player must aim at a suitable horizontal or vertical surface and press the mount weapon button, V by default. Oh, so we're changing the melee button. Okay. The recoil and stamina consumption is reduced when firing a mounted weapon. I love this. To mount the weapon on a bipod, control V by default. Awesome. Weapon sway is reduced. Awesome. Mounting the weapon while prone is only available if the bipods are installed and deployed on the weapon. The icon in the corner of the screen shows whether the weapon is mounted or signals that the given surface is not suitable for mounting. Awesome. This is just going to be a good thing for the game. Call of Duty has had this for multiple years. Call of Duty's had this for a while. It's cool in that game. It only makes sense for Tarkov to have it. So, it's just about time for that one. I'm glad to have it. New hideout zone, gear rack. The gear rack zone is added to the extended part of the hideout and has 3 upgrade levels. Each level adds a mannequin. You can equip gear from the mannequin. Pouch items and special slots do not apply to the equipping and exchanging. Mannequin gear is displayed in the list of kits. Okay, I don't use the kit function already. I just mix and match whatever gear's in my hideout already. I guess this will be cool if you get max level hideout and you want to show off boss gear or whatever, but I don't think anyone's going to be dying to get the new gear rack. Oh, what the hell? This is some realism right here. New hideout zone, cultist circle. The new cultist circle is located in the outside the main hideout. The new cultist circle is located outside the main hideout. You can sacrifice up to 5 items to the cultist circle. The value of each sacrificed item is added up. The total determines the value of items you received as a gift from the cultists. The cult cannot deliver items while you are in the hideout. If the value of a single sacrifice is above a certain threshold, there is a 25% chance to receive items needed for active tasks and unfinished hideout zones. The value of the sacrificed items is further increased by the bonuses from the Sacred Amulet and the Hideout Management skill. Players who have purchased the Unheard Edition will have the Cultist Circle built instantly. Okay, that's a little BS. I think this is an interesting feature, being able to have a guaranteed way to get task items, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I literally just cannot find certain tech items. But giving this to the Unheard Edition players, that's a little bit absurd, because depending on what the threshold is, for example, you could just immediately get all of your graphics cards, or you could just immediately get all of your LED X's, depending on what the threshold is. We'll have to see. I'm a little skeptical about this one just because of this last little spot here making it kind of a pay-to-win feature. We'll see. This isn't the end of the world. At the end of the day, having the Unheard Edition doesn't make you die any less. So, we'll see. AI enemy reaction system. Thank Lord. Added variation in AI behavior when spotting another AI or player in the PvE mode. Oh, PvE. Why can't we have this in PvP? Oh, it is. Never mind. It says that down here. Behavior model is chosen dependent on the lore relationship between the factions. Possible reactions. Instant aggression and attack. Friendly unless shown aggression. Total friendliness. That's funny. Warning and attacking if not obeyed. Neutral unless shown aggression. The choice of whether to be aggressive depends on the mood of the bot and the faction of the target. For example, if an AI bear encounters an AI USEC, they are more likely to engage them, but not necessarily 100%, than they would if they encountered another AI bear. The decision whether to be aggressive or peaceful is made for both player scavs and player PMCs. The chance of meeting a more aggressive AI PMC varies depending on the location. For example, on Ground Zero under level 20, the bots are more friendly, and in the lab they are more aggressive. And that's awesome. Faction interactions will be implemented and balanced further in both PvE and PvP game modes. So does that mean the raiders might be more friendly? Or, like, what does that mean? Because it says in the PvP modes, so are we going to have AI PMCs in PvP? Is that going to be considered like rogues, raiders, whatever the bear equivalent's going to be? Or am I just overthinking? I don't know. Let me know in the comments on that one. New weapons, equipment, and loot. Uzi, 9mm, couple variants. SR3M, another Val ammo equivalent. Desert Eagle, 50 AE, awesome. 357, awesome. A couple different variants. The Mark, L5, L6. The M60, a couple different variants, all of them in 308. Updated weapon models, new Val model, new VSS model, new Keter models, new Clin models. Okay, cool. New caliber 50 AE. I was kind of hoping for another one, but 50 AE is cool. When are we getting our 357 lever action guns? That's what I really want. I want to be cowboy LARPing. New ammo, FMJ, JHP, Copper Solid, Hawk JSP. FMJ is probably going to be the best one. Maybe Copper Solid, we'll see. If the 357 has told us anything, JHP and JSP are going to be probably the worst ones. We'll see, though. New weapon attachments, functionality of the pistol grips on the Makarov pistol. Improved AUG visuals, updated animations, a visually operating gas piston. That's cool. That's nerd stuff, though. I don't really care about that, but that's interesting. Updated animations, updated grenade animations, new types of armor, helmets, loot, every wipe. Quality of life. Now, okay, let's look at some of the quality of life. Added the ability to smoothly adjust the zoom for the following optics. Oh! So, whenever you have an LPVO or any variable zoom, if it's a 1:4, like the Burris here, you could select 2 times or 3 times. That's awesome. I've wanted that for years. Everyone's wanted that for years. I hope you don't have to use your scroll wheel, because my scroll wheel is broken. But awesome. It's about time. Alt scroll wheel up and down. Okay, we can change that. Selecting a grenade with G. New icon with the hotkey G is available on the quick access bar. It'll display a grenade for the player to equip first. You could select a specific grenade by holding G. Okay, so like magazines, if you hold R in scroll wheel, you can select a mag. Same thing for grenades. Drop-down lists displays only unique grenades with their... Okay, cool. Flashlight and tactical device operation mode added the ability to activate tactical lights by pressing or holding a hotkey. Is that not how it works already? I don't know. Manual value entry of game settings... Okay, yeah, whatever. Hotkey adjustments. Melee weapon is on U now. okay. Balancing changes, simplified setup and long road. These tasks are very annoying. I hope it just means kill less things, or maybe it's less strict requirements for killing the scavs. Completely removed level 6 traders. The items can only be found in raid. That's probably a good thing. Changed the availability of ammo on the flea market. Now all ammo with less than 42 is allowed, with a few exceptions. Increased the damage of 762 by 39, 545, and 9 by 21. Yeah, that's 762 by 39 is already in a good spot. 545 is kind of a joke right now, so I'm glad to see it getting a buff. 9 by 21 is fun early and mid wipe. I don't see it being good late wipe unless they really change the bullets and it has like level 5 pin, but I don't think that's happening. Reduce the damage of 556 ammo. I've said this before, I'll say it again, 556 is ass. If you can get M856A1 in the first month of wipe, okay. If you can get 55A1, okay. Yeah, it's whatever. I don't like it that much. I think 762 is better. Equipment clipping, implemented anti-clipping system, now helmets. Okay, that's cool. So there's an issue where like if you have headphones, they can pop out or they can stick through the top of a helmet. It just looks a little weird. It doesn't impact the game, but that's interesting. Rework to make animations accurate. Awesome. Optimize left shoulder animations for more smoothness. Awesome. I noticed that left shoulder was very jank. If you hit doors or something, it throws your gun all over the place. It's very weird. Special door interaction animations. The number of interactive object animations will increase further in the future updates. Awesome. Graphics. Redesign the weather condition display system on the player's client. Fix the bugs that led to unpredictable weather conditions in certain raid cases. Improved cloud visuals. Cool. I like clouds. Clouds are cool. This is going to kill your FPS. I hope there's a cloud setting. Updated FSR. Don't really care about that. Switch the in-game season to summer. Awesome. Sounds. Improve the environment sound system. They've been doing this every wipe and it's still busted. Tracks the position, rotation, predetermined curve. This is a bunch of just nerd speak for saying it's probably not going to work right. Let's just be honest. I'm optimistic. Enhance immersion, flow of water through pipes on factory, running rats running in the vents. Oh, that's what that says. Interesting. Small details, fall of pebbles, interference of electricity in the generators, air coming out of the boilers. That's interesting. I like that. I think it's gonna. If we know anything about Tarkov, these are probably gonna be way too loud, and it's gonna scare the shit out of people. Sound system performance. Awesome. If this stuff works, sound will just behave better. If not, more of the same. I wouldn't be surprised if sound still sucks. Active headset adjustments. Improved separation of weapon sounds and other sounds into the compressor channels. Added the splitting of sound subgroups and increased the number of customizable parameters for more control. Adjusted the frequency response, noise reduction level, and compressor values, as well as their technical specifications to match the specs of the real headsets. Recorded the real active headsets that are used in the game, the sound of shooting and environmental systems in them to allow further fine-tuning. Okay, so they're making the headsets better. Maybe we'll have like dials to adjust the gain so you can make like GSSHs a little less loud. Anti-cheat. Exploits. Okay, they're never going to tell us about the anti-cheat. They're just going to say they made it better. Hopefully it works. Normally on a fresh wipe, especially with all these engine changes, there's less cheaters. So hopefully they're finally cracking down on it. List of changes. You can read these if you want. I'm not going to sit here and go through all of these things. This is just little bugs and stuff that pops up every now and then. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this video on YouTube and go to bed. I hope you guys are excited for this wipe. I would like to announce here first, for those of you that stuck around to the end of the video, I am going to be doing a full Kappa playthrough. I've never actually gotten the Kappa container before, I hate to admit that, but this wipe, I'm gonna go for the Kappa container. I'm gonna get as far as I humanly can. If for whatever reason my arms fall off and I can't play Tarkov anymore, then oh well. But I would like to document the journey of what it takes to get Kappa container, so some of you new players can see that and get Kappa container. So I'm doing this so some of you newer players can see what it actually takes for an average person to get Kappa container. Anyways, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you guys are excited for the wipe as I am. I'll be back here in a few hours' time. I'll catch you all later today. Peace.